My highest personal rating has been 2098, but then I got bumped down.
How long have you played your warrior though?
I've been playing my warrior for almost 6 years now.
6 years, so you're not like one of the fly-by-night warriors. You stuck
Yeah.
it through like the bad times, and then like 6 years. So then, did you start out as a tank or something, or?
I actually started out as arms,
Oh, you
and then
started out as an arms warrior. Did you ever tank old school stuff, or?
yeah, in BC I tanked a lot, and just from there I like tanking, so picked it up actually.
When you do RBGs and stuff, how is it that you more or less set up your character? A lot of guys actually do ask me, um, how is a warrior set up, and I don't even really, I'm not up to date on what a warrior is all about these days. So like, what do you stack first, as a tank warrior? What are you
Well,
supposed
for
to stack?
well for gym wise, at this very moment in time, it's straight resilience. Even with rocking PVE trinket, um, just gives a shit ton of mastery. I still have almost 70% resilience. Other than that, just reforge everything into mastery, and
What does mastery do for tanks?
mastery increases your chance to block and increases your chance to critically block.
Oh, okay. So, and do you go sword and board and stuff? I assume generally as a prot warrior, or that's mandatory pretty much.
Yeah, pretty. Throwing boards like this, kind of like built into the prot talent.
What kind of healers do you prefer during RBGs? And like when in RBG makeups at 2K plus, what's generally like the heal setup like?
Well, I actually prefer
I
like
know that's kind of a dumb question, but
yeah.
but
Well, that's not really a dumb question because a lot of people run with a lot of different healers, and it just depends on what you like. Like honestly, I do like the double resto druid with the holy pally, but I also like just standard resto druid, resto shaman, and a holy pally. Those are like the two comp makeups for healers that I do like.
yeah. So with double druids even, yeah, I like running double druids and stuff. Or if I can help it, I'll go with like one pally. And for some reason, as an RBG leader, I like actually sticking a pally, to have the tanks back on flag carry maps and stuff. And should it be a pally, or should it, maybe a resto druid is a better idea, or shaman?
Um, it depends on your comp setup actually, and it also depends on the map. Say Warsong Gulch for instance. You're coming up 4 or 5 stacks. Preferably I would have the Holy Palette and the Resto Shaman on defense, just to so I can survive a
Right.
lot longer. Because the Resto Shaman obviously increases your health, along with the Holy Palette stacking his Illuminate healing on you. So I prefer those two.
At what point, because I know a lot of warriors screw this part up, but at what point do you think is a good time to actually go, head out on your own, or take a healer with you to the flag cap on those skirmishes?
Honestly, it depends on the other team and their comp setup. Say you're sitting at a Twin Peaks, you are forced to play Graveyard. Um, Normally you want to watch the other team's Frost Decay, and see what they do, because more than likely they're gonna try to sneak around and go ahead and set up a burst on you and set up for the other team or the other opposing team to set up a burst to make a kill. I mean, it's just certain stuff that you have to watch for, and certain teams.
Yeah,
Um,
see, I didn't even think of actually that part of it, where Death Knight is actually a big threat to a flag carrier. So yeah, that's totally true. If there is a Death Knight or two on the enemy team, you got to watch for that yank if they're going to pull you in or not. So yeah, that's something that I don't really normally take a look at too much in RBGs, but now I know. Especially if I have two. As a warlock, they do that to me. I'll get like, they'll focus a warlock, and they'll death grip me in,
yeah.
and stuff like that too. But yeah, if they try and zero in on the flag carrier, let's say you're near cap, and then all of a sudden a rogue busts out and a warlock busts out, and then you're like on cap with your healer, so it kind of becomes one of those sort of pressure moments. What CDs are your priorities first, depending on what's going on, I guess, to keep yourself alive as long as possible.
Yeah, well, for range DPS, you always want to try to maintain a 60 range, so you can either use shield barrier or shield block, depending on what's attacking you. Shield barrier is really good for melee and range DPS, but shield block only really pertains to melee. More than likely, most of the times I use shield barrier over shield block just because of there's probably going to be more than melees attacking you, and shield barrier also like it just absorbs all damage. So I arrange my cooldowns accordingly. Also, if you have a lot of melee on you, you want to use thunderclap, your demoralizing shout, and your demoralizing banner all at the same time because it mitigates almost 70% of damage taken.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, that works out pretty nice then. And for talent specs, what do you propose for the best talent spec is these days for warriors?
Well, not or it depends on what you want to run with. Me personally, for the 15, I run double time. For 30, I run second wind. For 45, I use piercing howl, and for 60, I use blaze storm. I mean, you could use shockwave. It's just I see it more viable using blaze storm. For 75, I use safeguard because it also gets you out of roots and snares, and that's really good with a fly carrier. And for 90, I mean, you can either run with avatar or stormbolt. I just prefer stormbolt.
Okay.
But that's just me. I mean, you can pick either or depending on what you like.